high-level account. So, as I said, the title for today's demo is Spam Calls Are Costing You Money Every Day. And here is how to stop them automatically with a 4-layer protection, spam protection system. And so the purpose of this demo is to teach you how to block robocalls, clean your list. And when I say clean your list, I'm talking about your contact list, and protect your AI credits if you are using an AI agent, AI voice agent. And we want to do this on all on autopilot so that we set it once and then it just runs forever until we touch it again. And I don't know about you, but I get a lot of robocalls or spam calls, about maybe 50 to 100 every single day. Even before I started this, within the last 6 minutes, I've received about 3 robocalls already. And I know I'm going to receive more. And some of them, about 80% of them come from my business, and about 30% comes from my personal, my personal life. Maybe a lot of companies have my information and they are selling my phone number to other companies that are just, calling my phone all the time. So these days we are lucky that most of the uh, most of our networks provide us with unlimited calls. Otherwise, we would have been paying for that. But for a business, it's a little bit different, especially if you have a voice agent that picks up calls, that translates into AI credit, and that hits your bottom line. And so you want to prevent this kind of robocalls, bad calling, because it doesn't really bring any value to you. So this is really important for business owners. And also this is important for anybody who wants to learn how to build this. If you are a tech professional or you are somebody who wants to get into the AI consulting space, this is something that you can build for your customers, because a lot of businesses are suffering with, robocalls, and they don't know how to do it. Today, we are going to fix that with just a 4-layer spam protection system. So let's get into this right away. All right. So every spam call that gets through your system or your phone number, that hits your phone number, is costing you real money. And you don't know what you don't track, right? If you don't track this, you don't know how much it's costing you. And this became very apparent to me in the last 2, 3 weeks. And I realized that, ever since I deployed my AI voice agent, I started getting a lot of calls, and all these calls were just costing me money. So this is how much it was costing me. In the last month, every other day I was getting charged about $10 by my CRM company, Go High Level, just because I'm using too many credits. And also every call kind of sends me a text message and sends me an email. So it adds up, right? So every other day, or sometimes on a busy day, I get charged $10. And within a month, just do the calculation. Even if I get charged every day, every other day, or every 3 days for a month, do the math and see how much that is going to cost me, plus the subscription fee. And I realized that I was even paying more money for nothing, more than the price of the CRM that gives me about 30 plus different tools, right? So this was getting really expensive, and I had to do something about it. And so as soon as I fixed this, I thought that there are a lot of businesses out there who need this kind of help. And also there are other people or other consultants or tech professionals who want to build this and sell to their clients. So, I'm not a gatekeeper. I love to share ideas. I think that we are all abundant. And so when I know something, I just want to throw it out there and share it. If you're a business owner, if you can build this, fine, get it, build it. I have all the information in the description after this demo. I'm going to provide that, and you can download it and build it yourself if you can. If not, you can contact me. We can build it for you. So let's get into it. One, you waste a lot of time, right? Every spam call that hits your CRM waste your team's time because you have to check that number and find out what is going on. And most of the time, it's a robocall. And this has been happening to me. And I'm going to show you some real examples of what has been happening to me. You lose money. It's easier to save money than to make money. So whatever that you have, you want to save that money. You don't want to be wasting money on unnecessary stuff. These robocalls can drain your bottom line. So this is really, really important. Fake leads created. Now, what happens is every time that there are so many CRMs these days, like Go High Level, HubSpot, what have you, all these kind of CRMs, as soon as a phone number hits the CRM or your phone number, when it doesn't recognize that number, it considers that number a potential lead, like a customer who is trying to look for your service. So right away, it gives it a tag like a new lead. And before you know, you have maybe about 100 new leads in a day. And once you drill down and get to know these leads, you realize that they are all fake numbers, right? They are all bots. And so that is what you want to avoid. Otherwise, you're going to have like maybe 10,000 list of leads, and maybe only 1,000 of them will be real leads. So this is really important. You want a clean CRM, and this drains a lot of money because just imagine you want to do a promotion to all your leads and you have 10,000 in there, and then you hit, let's say, an SMS campaign, right? You're sending them text message and you send it to 5,000 people. Only 2,000 are real. The rest are all fake, right? First of all, it's costing you money. Second, it's going to give your number a bad reputation because it's like you are spamming, because this is really a big deal, and that really depreciates or decreases your numbers integrity. It's like a credit rating system, right? Just like emails, you want to make sure that your number is clean. And I'm going to show you how you are going to do that so that your number is also not flagged as a spam number when you call somebody. Because if I call your business or if I call your number, my number doesn't show potential spam. And also it shows the caller ID, the name of the business, and all that. So these are all important things to really um, give your phone number a good reputation, just like the way we treat emails, right? You pollute your database, which I just talked about. Your contact list grows with bad numbers and fake leads that pollute your entire database. And chasing ghosts, you are just chasing ghosts, right? These are not real people. These are just robocalls. These are bots. And you waste a lot of time. Your team waste a lot of time chasing these people. And spam calls are not just annoying. Like my phone, before I did this, my phone will be ringing and getting text messages like every second. Before I know, I have like 30 different, 30 new text messages, SMS, and then that translates into emails as well, because every call that comes in, which is marked as a potential lead, I get that email notification as well because I don't want to miss anything. So it fills your inbox, it fills everywhere, and that is really annoying. So this is something that you want to avoid. And this is like an invisible tax on your business. You are paying that, but you don't know. And a lot of business owners don't know this. They are paying for this, but they don't know. And you don't know what you don't track, right? So let's move on. And if you are running an AI agent, like a call agent, this is really important for you to know. And the reason is that every call takes AI credits. Every time my AI agent picks up a call, because once it finishes, it has to transcribe that and send me an email with a summary of the call and all that. All this takes AI credits, and it adds up. Before you know, boom, $10 in a day, right? 30 days, it's $300. Guys, this is really a big deal. And because $10 might be deducted from your credit card, you might not see it because, like for me, my credit card, anything over, let's say $20, it sends me a notification. $10, I might not see. They all go under the radar, right? By the time you look at your credit card statement or your bank statement, you're going to see that you've already paid about $300 and you are not even aware of that. So this is really a serious thing. Credit is consumed, zero ROI burns. All these robocalls are reaching your agent and they are not bringing you any income. Weekly credit loss. And the same thing, a business receiving 20 spam calls a day loses hundreds of AI credit every single week. And auto dialers multiply, right? Robocalls use auto dialers. And if you've been in the insurance agency or any kind of agency, that makes calls, outbound calls, you understand how this auto dialers work. So auto dialers are able to make calls to about 1,000 people at a time. So what they do is they scrape the web, all the businesses. So let's say they are looking for, let's say, dentists, all the dental businesses in, let's say, South Florida, which is where I am. And let's say they get like 10,000 companies, right? They feed this number to this auto dialer, and this auto dialer, boom, starts, right? All that is doing is calling these numbers at random. And once you pick, you answer, then they get a chance to talk to you. Once you answer the phone, then it gets transferred to an agent, and then the agent can talk to you. So there's nobody behind this dialers. They are just calling at any time, and some people don't even configure it properly. So it might be calling you at midnight, like 2 a.m. in the morning. This dialer is dialing people, and it's against the law, especially if you are in the United States. It's against FCC's, regulations. But what happens is that most of these businesses in the United States or wherever, give this job, or they subcontract, or they have remote. I mean, not remote, but they have these offshore companies, like companies in India, in the Philippines, and in Mexico, wherever, South Africa, wherever. And what these companies do is that they have these dialers and they make these calls, and they have this US front facing number. So once they make the call and somebody answers, then it gets transferred to a salesperson in the United States, or maybe in the location of the call. When this happens, right, there's no way you can sue the company because, first of all, if you try to track these numbers, it's not coming from, a company in the United States. They just sell these leads to other companies. So it's really something that is hard to really block because those companies cannot be charged or punished because they are not in the United States. Okay. So that is how some businesses use this to abuse us. And if you're a business owner, I don't encourage you to do this because it's really a pain and it drains people's money. It's also hidden until it's too late, right? Most business owners have no idea how much their agent is spending on spam until they check their usage report. This is what I was talking about. Every robocall AI answers is money out of your pocket. We must end this today. All right, let's go. Yeah, so your CRM is quietly filling up with fake contacts. First, auto create contacts. Most CRMs, as I said, will set this automatically to create contacts on every inbound call. Ghost contacts clog your pipeline. I've talked about all of this. I'm just, recapping. Inflated subscription costs, wasted ad spend. If you are a company that spends a lot on ads, or you are doing promo, you are going to be sending a lot of text messages and a lot of emails and all that kind of stuff. Just imagine you are sending all this messages to fake bots, right? And that is also going to decrease your reputation. Guys, if this is making sense and this is some giving you some value, please give me some ones in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions. Please go ahead and drop it, and I'll try and see if I can answer it before I move on to the next slide. And also, sales team your sales team waste a lot of time. Even if you don't have a team, you are wasting a lot of time trying to figure out where these leads are coming from, who are they, and all that kind of stuff. And this leads to a dirty CRM with dirty data, and dirty data leads to wasted money. So guys, let me know in the chat if this is valuable, and how, let me know in the chat how you are going to use this. Are you a business owner who is having a lot of spam calls? And I don't know if you are tracking this, whether, if you are tracking this, how much money is this costing you in your business? You can drop the number in the chat if you don't mind. But yeah, that is what is happening with fake numbers, and the numbers don't lie. I always want to show you the proof, the research, the data. It's not just about hearsay and all that, but people have put in the work, they've done the research, and they know uh, what is happening. So the numbers are, there's 4.5 billion robocalls every month to just US phone numbers alone, right? So we are not even talking about the UK, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Ghana, all these places. We are just talking about the United States, and that is 4.5 billion calls every single month. These robocalls are dialing like crazy. They are on steroids. They can call thousands of people within a minute, and it's all numbers game, right? Because they are just trying their luck. If you answer, they're gonna sell to you. And 11% increase from last year, so it's gonna go up, and it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. And 80% of them, we can eliminate this by 80% if you have like a manual system to handle this. So businesses that implement call screening eliminate up to 80% of robocalls automatically. And I'm going to show you that. And per scam, right? Some of these robocalls are scam, and it's costing people $1,200 per call per scam, right? Average cost to business per successful phone scam alone is about 1,200. So not all of these spam calls are really real calls, right? Some of them are fraudulent, and there are people, using different ways to get money from people, right? And also robocalls use AI auto dialers that that reach thousands of numbers simultaneously. We talked about this, and with an AI layer that we are going to build today, we can at least stop 95% of that. And the reason why it's 95%, you are going to understand why. So stay with me till the end. You are going to understand why some of them is 80%, and then why, for with AI is 95%, and how we can move this to 100% and give it a full proof, full spam proof. So to resolve this issue, we are going to use Go High Level. And if you've been here before, I I always talk about Go High Level because that's what I use. I'm not going to talk about a tool that I don't use. So Go High Level is a suite of tools. It's a CRM tool, CRM platform that has over 30 to 40 plus tools, suite of tools. I cannot remember all of them, but they are always adding new tools. If you are a business owner, you want to own this tool. If you're a consultant that, or a freelancer, you want to have this tool to manage everything for your business, because this is really great. It saves you a lot of money, and also it makes things simpler for you because you have everything under one roof. Okay, so somebody is asking, how do I set up an AI automated system? Okay, yeah, good question. This is coming from Joel's Entertainment. Yeah, so Joel, when you have to set up an AI automated system, you just need a platform, a CRM platform like this, which will help you to set up that AI platform because you don't want to build your own LLM AI platform, right? You want to leverage what is already out there, and Go High Level is going to help you to do that. And this is something that I can, help you set it up and make sure that it's blocking spam calls from your business. So if that answers your question, you can give me a two and let me know if you have more questions. If I didn't answer that question, you can come back and ask more. So we are going to use a 4-layer spam protection system, and this system doesn't come out of the box from Go High Level. So for the last couple of months, I've been paying through, my nose. Every other day or every 3 days, I get charged $10 for all these calls, and I was like, I need to look into this. And then I checked my CRM. It's so many, and I would love to share my CRM, but I'm not allowed to do that on a live call because of YouTube regulations. But if you check my CRM, I have over maybe 500 numbers, which are just robocalls, right? And these guys are hitting me all the time. They hit me like sometimes 5 times a day just from one company. So you can just imagine if I get 20 different companies trying to sell something to me, that is 100 calls in a day. That day, I can easily burn $10 because my system is going to try to, respond to them after I miss a call or the call dropped or we follow up with them, all those kind of stuff, right? And so layer one is the number intelligence. And the number intelligence, what it does is it makes sure that when it suspects a number to be a spam, it has that intelligence. So when it suspects a number to be a spam, it flags it and say that, hey, I suspect this number. Like on your phone, you get a call, it says spam likely. It's the same way. That is how it checks it. And if it's a spam likely, what it's going to do is that it's going to flag it. But sometimes it cannot flag it, and I'll tell you the reason why once I finish with the 4 layers. And then the second layer is the auto do not call, right? DND, do not call workflow. It's a workflow, it's an automated workflow. What it does is that the moment this layer one suspects that phone number, it flags it as spam likely, and the moment that tag is applied to that number, it raises it triggers this workflow, and this workflow kicks in by blocking that number immediately, right? Then the layer three is the voice agent. Now, the voice agent is the agent that talks to the clients when they call the business. So when you call my business, this AI will talk to you first, make sure that all your questions are answered. If you need an escalation or there are questions that the AI cannot deal with, then it will escalate the call to me. So I don't get bugged with all the spam calls, because before I was getting this call so many times. Now all the spam calls that I get on my phone, they are just numbers from like my personal stuff, right? It's not from the business. And then the layer four is that if they are able to bypass, and the reason why, so when I set up this, what was happening is that most of these auto dialers don't use one number. So there's something called number pool. A number pool is where you have one unique number, and then you have a pool of numbers. So once you purchase that auto dialer, or even with my number, I can ask for a pool, right? I don't do that because I don't plan to spam people. But you can have a pool of numbers. So let's say I have one number, and then you have 10 different pool, right? In 10 different numbers in your pool. what this does is that every time that your phone is going to make a call, it will use a different number. So the numbers rotate. And I realized that I was catching some of the numbers, but some of the numbers are so clean, you are not able to catch it. So it will bypass, and it will bypass the layer one, but then it gets to, when it bypasses layer one, layer three is going to talk to it, and layer three will say that, okay, you are not talking, you are a bot. Okay, I'm going to give you to layer four, because once layer three ends the call, it will give it to layer four. And what layer four is going to do is it has some keywords that has been flagged, and it was going to flag those numbers immediately. So that this adds another layer of protection to it, and this is what brings it to the 95. Before it was about 80%. Now adding this layer brings it to 95, and we can even increase it to 100, right? This is beyond the scope of this demo, but I'll be happy to demo that. If you guys need me to do that, please comment in the comment section of this training, this video, not in the chat, but in the comment section, and I will make another video that can take you to 100%, so that you have a full proof of spam calling, right? But that is beyond the scope of this. And so these four layers are all automated. You set it up once and you forget about it. It's going to work for you all the time. So layer one has the intelligence. Layer two, once layer one fires and tag that number spam likely, it kicks off this workflow, and this workflow will also give it to this workflow will stop it once it blocks it. But then if it's able to bypass that and gets to the voice AI agent, the voice AI agent after that conversation is going to give it to layer four, which is a keyword detector. And based on the conversation that they had, we will flag that immediately. So that is how this system works. And I'm going to show you in a minute, and why your results depend on which phone system you are running. So a lot of people are going to say that, but Eric, I don't have a voice agent. I only have a traditional phone, right? And there is an answer to that. If you don't have a voice agent and you have a traditional phone number, it's the same thing. There is a layer, the layer three that I just showed you. Um, the layer three here is going to be where we do something, we set something called the IVR, right? Which is the integrated voice response. And you know, when you call a phone number, let's say you call your hospital, you call the CVS pharmacy or something like that, they tell you to select one if you want to talk to the pharmacist, select two if you want to know the opening hours and all that kind of stuff. That is the IVR, right? We set up the IVR. I didn't do it here because I don't have a traditional phone number. If I want to do that, I have to add another number because the voice agent needs a dedicated number. So if I want an IVR, I have to add that. And that is why I'm not going to demo that in this, but I have it in my description, the service packet that I'm providing free of charge. It has everything in there. So if you have a traditional phone number that you want to implement this, you can substitute the layer three and replace it with the IVR layer, right? And if you have the two numbers, then you can have 5 layers in place, and that is really going to make it tight. Okay, so let's move on. And so the number intelligence flags the spam calls. In this case, we are talking about the traditional the traditional phone number. The number intelligence flags the spam likely call instantly, and the auto DND workflow silences the repeat spammers across all channels. IVR screens door, the IVR screen door is available for extra protection. Full setup is in the free download, as I explained, and the expected spam reduction is up to about 80%. Now, if you have a voice agent like I do, and that is what we are going to demo today, it's the same thing. I've already given you that, so I'm not going to repeat that. But at the end of the day, layer 3 adds a simple response trigger to your AI welcome, and then silence the robocalls get dropped in 10 seconds. So what this does is that if the caller doesn't speak in 10 seconds, it drops the call to prevent us from wasting credit. And also any robocall that slips through layer 1 gets caught by layer 3, right? By the call agent. And then layer 4 then reviews the call. After the call, right? It reviews the transcript and tag them if necessary. And expected spam reduction is up to about 95%. So whether you have a traditional number or an AI agent, you are covered. And I'm not going to show the IVR, but I have it in the description. The link is there right after this training. If you are watching the live, it's going to be after this video, but if you are watching this after the live demo, then it's definitely going to be in the description below. So the pro tip here is not running a voice layer yet. Yes, like I said, the free download includes the full IVR version, so you get maximum protection on your phone setup. So here is um, a little bit of more information. As I said, a lot of you here want to start your own AI business, and this is what I help many of my students to do by setting up their own AI consulting businesses. And this is something that is in high demand. A lot of companies are bleeding, and they need this kind of help. They need it to clean their CRM and also to help them save money. So who else want to build and sell this system? You can download this free phone spam protection service packet, and it has everything: the number intelligence setup. I also the layer 2, which is the auto DND workflow. I have the voice AI screening configuration, and also the layer 4, which is the transcript keyword detector workflow setup, and the IVR prompt for standard phones. You have everything in there. And if you are somebody who is serious on starting your own AI consulting business, then I also have a pricing guide for you and how to um, um, market this to businesses, and the client delivery checklist, so that you do this in a professional way. And you can charge anything from 297 to 497, depending on the amount of work you are going to put in, how complex this is, and how big that business is. And this guide is free, and the opportunity is real. Guys, people are building this in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and they are selling this to so many businesses. So this is something that is really valuable that you can download and start selling today. All right. So if you are an AI consultant, or you aspire to be one, or you are a business owner for the AI consultant, or if you are a tech professional, or anybody who wants to get into AI, what you can do is that I have an AI accelerator program, which is a 6 weeks program that you can um, come in and bring your ideas, whatever you want to build, or whatever service that you think that you want to provide to the world. We help you and come up at the end of the 6 weeks. You come up with a blueprint and how to build this AI consulting business. And this is like a live show where we sit together, we do this hands-on, just like we do on YouTube. So if you are interested, we are going to drop the link. It's aifreedom.ericbakes.com. And once you go there, you are going to understand the kind of help that we give, the blueprint, and then After that 6 weeks, you have a full 90-day action plan that you are going to start building your own business. And we are going to drop the link in the chat. Sandrine, if you are there, can you drop that link, please? And also, if you are a business owner who is bleeding and also getting your CRM messed up with all these spam calls, then please, if you don't have time to build it yourself, then work with me. The link is also going to be there. You can drop that and set up a free consultation where I can talk to you, help you, and build this for you to save you some money. So I'm going to drop that. This is the link to work with me. And also, let me share that link with for the AI course. You can also check that out and see. Yeah. All right. So those links are being dropped. And also, if you want to test drive Go High Level for 30 days, I have a link here that you can test it and see how this works. If you want to build this yourself, you can use my affiliate link. I get a low commission from Go High Level. If you purchase this, it doesn't increase your price. They give me a low commission if you subscribe after your 30-day trial period. And so look into this and you can test this. You don't need a credit card to test it. And once you test it, I know you're going to love it, especially if you're running a business and you are paying for multiple tools, all the tools that you use to run your business. 90 to 95% of them, I can bet that they are going to be in Go High Level. This is what I've been using since 2018, and I love it. And the price is great, just $97 for everything that you have, and you can do so much in this account. So let's move on and get things done. So it's go time, guys. This is my favorite part. And you guys know, I know that this is your favorite part too. This is where we get our hands dirty. We don't just, talk about it, but we do it as well. We build it, we get our hands dirty. So if you are ready, if you have a Go High Level account, you can build alongside with me. I'm going to show you everything that we do to get all these layers set up. Now, for time's sake, I kind of built this because it took some time, especially with the workflows, testing them out and all that kind of stuff. So it took me some time. So I've built it, but I'm going to show you how to build it. And also, as I said, the service packet has everything that you need, all the prompts that you need to build this and Go High Level. It's all provided. So you don't have to worry. So we're going to run through this demo real quick because it takes time to build it and test it. So if you are ready, let me know if this is valuable. Please drop some tools. Let me know, show some love. Let me know if this I'm doing a good job giving you some value. If not, let me know what you want to see and let's get rolling. So first of all, I'm going to go into my Go High Level account and then we take it from there. All right. So I've already opened this. And first of all, you always want to be in your sub account, which, if you know Go High Level has like agency level, and then you have the sub account. So I'm going to go into one of my businesses, and you want to go into your settings under the business. You go into your settings, and then once you get into your settings, you go into your phone system, which is going to be here. So this is the phone system. Once you are in the phone system, there are a couple of things you have to do. Remember, let me show you the script, right? This is the script that we have. This script is also going to be provided to you. The first layer we want to do is that we want to build the number intelligence. And like I said, you're going to get this, so don't worry about it. We are going to build a number intelligence. So the number intelligence, we want to be on the phone system, Once we get to the phone system, this is your phone system that you have, right? You've connected to your Go High Level account. And this number, I've named it a friendly name as 24/7 AI receptionist. So, a couple of things we want to do over here. First of all, we want to go to the voice, right? The voice tab. Once we go to the voice tab, we want to be on the call transcription. This is really important because if this is off, the AI is not able to transcribe or get a transcription. It might be able to do it. As a matter of fact, don't quote me on this one, but because it's an AI agent, it might be able to do it. But if you have a traditional number, yes, if you have a traditional number, you want to make sure that this is on. But regardless, just to be on the safer side, whether you have a traditional number or an AI voice agent, you want to enable this enable call transcription. So that is what you do over here. The next thing you want to do is that, which is not a prerequisite for this, but you also want to protect yourself. You want to increase the trustworthiness of your phone number, and you come to the trust center, right? This is where you do that. You have to make sure that you've registered for all this. The voice integrity is really, really important. This is how you look like to the other businesses, other people that you call, right? You don't want to show up on somebody's phone as spam likely. So this is where you build your own phone. You build the trust of your own phone. Once you are in Go High Level, you come here, you start registering, and once you get approved, once you meet all the requirements, they approve you. So I recommend that you come to the trust center and make sure that everything that you have over here is approved, right? You want to make sure that you've registered everything and it's all approved. This gives your number a high reputation. And then the next thing we want to do is to come to the additional settings. Very important here. This is the layer one that we are talking about. Everything that I did is just it's just a bonus, but this is the most important thing of layer one. So usually a lot of people will say, will come here and just do this. But I do all this stuff to increase the number intelligence and also to make sure that you have to clean your house first, right? Charity begins at home. So you have to toggle this and make sure that it's turned on. They charge a little bit of fees, but it's way, way, way cheaper than getting the bots and robocalls to be calling you every now and then. So now layer one is done. Layer one is so simple. You come to the phone system. Once you come to the phone system, you come to additional settings, and then you check the gather intelligence on unknown numbers. Now, read here. This is what it does, right? It checks the number's validity before sending the first text message. So if you want to send a number to somebody, it wants to check that number and make sure that it's not a spam number, right? It checks that. It also detects incoming spam calls and look up for the names of unknown callers before answering the phone. Additional charges may apply. Like I said, it's very negligible as compared to being charged, without any guardrails, right? So no, one is done. The bonus things you have to do is to come to the trust center, make sure that you register your phone. Your phone reputation is very important. And then the third part is that you want to activate the call transcription. So we're done with layer one. Let's move on to layer two. Layer two is going to be the workflow part. Let me show you here. The layer two is where we build the auto do not call workflow. And so what does this flow or workflow, what does it do? What it does is that the moment the layer one, which is the intelligence, reports that this phone is likely a spam phone, we give it a tag. So I've already built this workflow. It's a simple workflow, but it takes time to build stuff. And sometimes, you don't want to build things which might break on the live demo. That is why I made sure that everything was working before I get here so I don't waste anybody's time. But here, so first of all, you have to set up a trigger, right? I've named this phone spam protection spam call auto inbound DND, right? It's an inbound call. So you have to create a trigger. And for every workflow, there needs to be a trigger. A trigger is what sets the workflow rolling. So here, what it's going to do is that we are going to tag a number, right? A number that is called spam likely. And remember, that spam likely is going to happen in layer one. We just set up something. So once the phone call comes in and the system suspects a spam likely, this workflow is going to trigger, right? Because that is what is here, So let's say if I want to build this, all that I need to do is that, I'm building this tag. Again, I just say contact tag, right? And then I'll say add filters, and then I'll select that tag added, and then I'll select that tag. So I would type spam likely, and spam likely will come. Yeah, spam likely. Yes. So then you select the tag, right? If it's not there, you add it. This is already there, so I'm not going to do anything, but this that is how this trigger was done. Okay, so if we open it, as you can see here, it's a contact tag, tag added. What kind of tag was added? It's a spam likely tag. So we are good. And the reason why it showed as if that it wasn't there is because we already have one trigger that has this. That's why it didn't show up. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to enable DND. So the same way you go to action, right? And then you are going to do this. So assuming this wasn't here, you just go to click this and then you say enable. You type it, enable, and it's going to come up. Enable DND. So here, all that we are telling the system is that we want to enable DND. So you select this. Once you select this, you get this action box. And what you are going to do is that this is not an outbound call, but an inbound call, because we want to enable or disable a number. And DND means do not call. That's the simple meaning, right? So it's an inbound call because the call is coming to us. And what we want to do we want to enable DND for all our channels? Yes, of course, we want to enable DND on that particular number across channels, because that number is bugging us. So we don't want that. And so this is what we do, and then we save the action. Now, this is up to you. This is what I do, right? I Because some of the numbers might be false positives, and the reason is that the system might detect that it's a spam number, but it might not necessarily be a spam number. So what I do is that I gate them, or I kind of put them in prison for 30 days and then see what's going to happen. Now, if after 30 days they continue to call, then we are going to flag them. The system is designed in such a way that when after 30 days they are released and they call again, then we are going to block them forever, right? So I release them after 30 days, and all that you have to do, assuming this wasn't here, all that you have to do is that add a wait time, right? You add a wait time, and a wait time can be in days, in months, so here, let me close this because this is already set up. I do 30 days, right? I can do minutes, hours, or I can do 60 days if I want, right? Or I can just do that. I can forget about this step and delete this step, and that means that once they attack forever. I am testing something, so I'm gonna leave it for 30 days. It doesn't matter. You can leave it for 60 days or you can block it forever, especially if you know the number. And here is that this is where I enable the number again. I give them a second chance to see if they are going to spam again. Maybe they are not a spam caller, right? They are a real number. So I will release them again. They might not call again, but I will release them. And the same thing, the way we did over here, enable, disable, here is inbound. And now instead of disable, we are going to enable. Sorry, I think the first one I talked about enable, we are going to do disable. Yes, it's a disable one. No, enable. Sorry, enable. Gosh, enable. Yeah, that was the right one. And here we are going to disable. Disable, yes. So this was on the wrong one. So here we disable. So now we are done with this workflow. Now step two or layer two is configured. We are good to go to layer three. Now layer three is very, very tricky. So pay attention here because that is something that is going to be done on the AI voice agent. And before you can do this, you need to have built the AI agent. Building this AI agent is beyond the scope of this demo. And if you've been following these classes, you will know that we've built the voice AI agent already. And I have a video here on YouTube that says, Stop Losing Customers. This video talks about how we can build this AI. So if you want to build this AI agent, if you don't have one and you want to build this 24/7 AI receptionist, this is the video for you. Once you watch this video, you will know how to set it up. Now, if you have this already, if you have a voice agent already, then this is what we are going to do, right? Uh, we are going to go to the voice agent, and this is a voice agent, and here you want to be in your AI agent tab. The AI agent tab is where you have all your AI chatbots and all that kind of stuff, right? Here, my AI agent, once you are here, you are on the dashboard, and within the last few months, I've reduced a lot of costs, but now, it's 54 costs that I have right now. It keeps a log of everything that is happening, right? And the agent list is where you are going to see all your voice agents. So you can have a voice agent for outreach, voice agent for customer service, voice agent for whatever you have your use case may be. So here, my voice agent is called Max. And Max is my MSP qualifier. MSPs are managed service providers like IT companies. So when somebody calls the business, Max kind of takes them through a process by qualifying them and making sure that they are the right fit for the kind of offer that we have, so that it doesn't waste my time. And Max will always try to make sure that they book an appointment with me. If not, then maybe escalate the call to me. So Max saves me a lot of time. So what we want to do is that we want to configure Max to make sure that it's in sync with our automated the spam protection that we are building. So here, like I said, the video I showed, the YouTube video I showed you, Stop Losing Money. That video explains everything. This video, you are losing customers. This 24/7 AI reception fixes that. So that is the video you want to watch to see how to set this thing up. So we come back to this, and this is how Max was set up, but I'm not going to go into this. This is so, uh, time consuming. So you have the video. But one thing we want to do, there are two things we're going to do here. The first one is that we are going to set up the inbound call greetings, right? And the inbound call greetings, there is something that we have added here. Usually, this is the message that you hear when you call my phone number, and the Max realized that your phone number is not a contact or a lead in my system, then it knows that you are a new lead. So if you are a new lead, what Max is going to do is that it's going to say, hey, thank you. Thanks for calling Baykes Cloud Consultant. I'm Max, your AI assistant. Just say yes to get started. Guys, this is the source. Just say yes to get started. Now, if a robocall calls your phone, if a bot calls your phone, they cannot say yes. Now, some of them are getting sophisticated, and that is why we have the fourth layer. Some of them might even be able to say something. But at the moment they call, they start talking. The bots start talking because they've been programmed to do that, right? So this is my safety net that I use. This is the guardrail. Just say yes to get started. If they don't say yes, that's it, right? So if they don't say yes, we're not moving forward with that conversation. And if this continues for after a certain number of seconds, which I've set a threshold, it will end the call and it will report it to us and we will flag it spam right away. So here, but if it knows your name, if your number is in the system and it knows your name, then it's not even gonna take you through this process I'm talking about, because it knows that you are a real caller and it's going to mention your name. And when I call it, it knows my number, it mentions my name, right? So that is how it is. So the first thing we want to do is to make sure that the inbound call greetings is set up. Whatever you want to put, you can put whatever you want, but don't miss this part. This is the most important part. The greetings can be anything you want, but you want to say just say yes to get started, or you can say just say no to get started, or just say good day to get started. Whatever you want to say, just give it that instruction, and Max is going to follow that. You can name your agent, whatever you want to do. So this is the first thing that we will do over here. The second thing we want to do is to come to the call settings, right? Call settings. Now, a call settings is what happens during the call. So here, these are the default settings. We will wait 5 seconds, right? If they don't talk, we will talk again 5 seconds. That is if the call is active and going on. If they don't talk, we will remind them within 5 seconds. So you can set yours 10 seconds, whatever you want. And we are only going to repeat ourselves once, especially during the greetings time. We're not going to be repeating ourselves so many times because we don't want to bend the credit. Some people will just call and waste time and time. So you don't want to make sure that you are protecting your bottom line, right? Now, here, this is the most important thing that we want to do over here. And call after silence. So mostly, if a bot calls you and you ask them to say yes before they get started, they are not going to say anything. So right after 10 seconds, if there's no response, we end the call, right? I would have taken it to 5 seconds, but the default is only 10 seconds. So I'm using the barest minimum, which is 10 seconds. Here, wait before speaking. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. You can just let them respond. And this makes it natural, right? When somebody speaks, you want to process that information and before you speak back. So, how long do you want to wait? It's up to you. But these are the only two things that we want to set up, and also you want to set up your time, right? What is your time? For me, it's America, New York, EST time. So you want to set it for your time zone so that your bot knows what time it is. There are other things that I'm not going to go into, but the actions, there are workflows that Max follows and all that kind of stuff. This is all uh, explained in the other video I showed you. And if you want to learn more about how to set up a voice agent, that is your video. And so now we've finished with layer three. So layer three is done. Remember what we did? We came to the AI agents, and then we went to the voice, which is the voice agent. We selected our voice agent, and then we went in to set it up. The outbound call is, sorry, the inbound call is what we want to configure. And the most important thing we want to do is to make sure that we select get started, right? This is the juice. This is the guardrail that is going to screen all these people, all these phone numbers that are calling. Okay. And then once you do that, you come here, and then the next thing you want to do is to do your call settings. Yeah. Yeah, you select your time zone. Maximum time of the call for me is 5 minutes. I don't want to spend more than 5 minutes before I get somebody on my calendar. If they are not interested, they can leave. After 5 minutes, I don't want to be burning more credits. Okay. The idle time is 5 seconds, and we are going to ask this question only one time. And The wait time after a long silence is 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, if they are not responding, it means they are not paying attention or they are simply a bot. And then we end the call to save ourselves. Once you do all that, you save it here. Layer 3 is now completed. Now layer 4, which is the bonus that I added to even make things better, is what we are going to talk about. So most often than not, because a lot of companies these days, a lot of these auto dialers are using, um, let me enlarge this a little bit, because most of these auto dialers are using number pools, right? So one phone number can have up to about maybe 20 different numbers. So every time they've programmed it in such a way that the same number will not call you twice. So guess what is going to happen? If they have a number pool of 20, if they have a number pool of 20 numbers, these numbers are going to call you. All the 20 numbers are going to call you until you answer or until you block them, right? Bigger companies will have maybe like 50 numbers in the pool, and they all will be calling you until you block them or you answer. That is crazy. So that will bypass everything and they will call you every time. So this is the only way to prevent them. And once you catch that number, just one of them, boom, you block them. So let's see how this works. So here the workflow that we are going to use, and workflow is simply an automation that follows a sequence, right? Step by step instructions of what you've asked it to do. So now when the call finishes, layer 4 is that when the call finishes, Max, the voice agent we just talked about, will report whatever happened to this bot, right? To this workflow. So once a call is completed, it takes a couple of seconds and then that transcript is generated. Once that transcript is generated, this workflow kicks in. So as you can see here, this is transcript generated. So the trigger is the transcript generated. And this is how you can build it. Like the same way, you can always add so many triggers you want. But like if, just to show you how this is done, you will type call transcription. So um, do this transcript, and it's, yeah, transcript generated, right? As you can see it over here. So I can hit this is how this was set up, right? Transcript generated. So once you select that, then you can get in and configure it. So this is how it's configured. Let me show you how this is configured. So once you select this trigger, it says that what type of trigger are you looking for using the filters, right? And here we have three options: calls, IVR, voice AR, right? You can select calls, but this is going to take care of both. Any kind of call, not every call that I want to track. I want to track calls coming to the voice AI because that is where it's eating a lot of my money. And I use this because I want to gather intelligence from this information, right? If I use calls, I might miss calls coming to Max, even though Max is the only number I have at the moment. I will be adding some more numbers to it, and maybe add some number pools to it as well. But this is what you have to select depending on your use case, right? If you have a traditional number, then you are going to select the IVR, which we talked about. If you have a traditional number, this is what you are going to select. And that is why it was good that we activated the transcription in step 1, if you remember. So we select voice agent and we save the trigger. We've done that already. And then we are going to do an if statement. What if, right? The answer can be negative or positive. And what we are trying to do is that we want to see what the transcription is, right? We want to know the kind of conversation that happened. So we use the if or what statement, and this is how it is done, right? You just go to the condition statement. So assuming this wasn't here, we just click this and then we are going to look for the condition statement, or you type in if or condition, you are going to get condition. This is a condition statement, right? And this is an internal decision. It's an action, but it's internal decision. So if or else, right? This is a condition. So we want to ask if the call was successful. Was there a transcription? Do you have a transcript? Yes or no? That is the whole idea, right? So let me show you how this was built. So this was the question, right? We are checking the direction check, right? And this is just a name, right? I just put that name there. It's a condition. You can say direction check condition, right? I can add condition just to make you understand. It's just, yeah. So here on the branch, what do you want to do? The call direction, right? Is it coming in or going out, right? This is an if statement. So we have it's either left or right. So is it an inbound call or outgoing call? We are dealing with inbound, right? Max is receiving calls. We are getting spam calls. So we select the inbound. So this is how it's selected. You come here and then you select, you can go to all fields. So let me show you how I got here. Okay. Let me show you how I got here. So let's assume that I want to add another one. All that I need to do is that transcription generated, and you can type it here, right? Transcription generated. And if you are doing this at home, yeah, that is how you come to this. So if you go to transcript generated, you want a transcript, right? But that is already done. So I'm not going to do that. And call direction is this one, and it's an inbound call. Okay, so I'm not going to add this. This is already saved. And then the negative part is that don't do anything, right? We are not going to do anything over here. Then we come here. Now, if the call has a transcription, we want to find out what happened. So here, yeah. So this we are more interested. If nothing happened, then nothing happened. It doesn't have any call transcription. We end that process, right? If it has it, then we want to check, right? Keywords. Now I'm going to show you examples of some of these things. When and some of you know when a bot calls you, it tells you like things like, oh, this is an urgent message, this is your health insurance, whatever. This is you are not verified for Google My Business. These are some of the things that happen, and you can have your own keywords that are hitting you. Like this can be updated. So I'm still going to be looking at transcript. If I find something I don't have here, I can come back and add it to it. Now let me show you some emails that I've been getting that tells you that you have you some of this. So once every conversation is finished, right, it gives me an email, it sends me an email. So the email says that your AI employee has handled another call for Baykes Cloud Consultants. It gives me the number that was called and also the number that called me and also the agent that was used to make the call. And it says that this call was very brief and involved an automated messaging regarding business verification on Google. Boom, this is a red flag. So this is, I've been getting this like 30 of them every day, right, in my emails. So and then it gives you a summary of what happened. Now, Max said, hey, it didn't even allow Max to greet them. And then they started talking, right? We are calling you because your business is not verified on Google voice search, whatever that is, right? Somebody trying to sell me this kind of service, and this is the way they want to go about it. And so Max tells me this, and so because of this, I use Google search. If I tell step 4 that anytime you find a keyword with this Google search or your Google business is not verified or not verified, flag this, right? And so that is how I came up with this. So let me go. Yeah, that is how I came up with this. And we are all that we are doing is that we use another condition, the if statement we just did above, yes or no. We do the same thing. And then on the branch, now this is what we want to flag, right? If we see it, urgent message and message, the transcript contains not verified. If the transcript contains verify your business, if it contains Google listing, warranty, interest rate, lower your rate, IRS, Social Security, Medicare, arrest warrant, press one, all this stuff. And this is how you add it. You always have to use the or statement, right? You always have to use this or operator. So let's say I want to add another one, another keyword, and I can just come up with something. Some of the things that I've been getting, I would say that if the transcript is transcript generated, and if the transcript contains, let's say it contains um, uh, Google My Business listing. Sometimes you get some calls like that, Google My Business listing. And so this is another thing, another keyword I want to flag, right? So no, some of my customers talk to me this way. So let me find something else. Maybe business not verified, right? Right. So if I get something like this, let me see if I have verify your business. Yeah, business not verified. Sometimes it says your business hasn't been verified on Google or whatever, wherever, right? And that is it. These are the keywords that we want to flag and tag them um, spam likely. So once we have this, we're just going to save it, and then this is it, right? So now here is where we check the keywords, right? So if the transcript contains that, then we want to block them, right? Boom, we block them. So here we have the statement, yes and no. Do they have a transcript? If the transcript, yes, okay, let's see what it is, okay? And this is what we did over here. And if they don't have it, which means we didn't have to do anything in the no branch because they don't have it, right? If that happens, that means this is a valid call, okay? Then we have to send ourselves a notification. So the time that when this will trigger this action, the non-action will trigger if the call happens and there is no keyword that flags the call. Then that means that this call was a legit call. At the end of the day, it's going to send me an internal notification. I can either select an email or just a system notification, SMS, text message to my phone, or WhatsApp. I'm going to send myself an email. And the reason why I do this is that when I send a system email, everybody can get it, right? Everybody can get it in the company. So we know. Now, this is the call. This is what happens. It tells me the subject line, and I say send this to all users in the company. So all my employees will get this. So if it's my customer, I'm working with that customer or that client, I know if my one of my employees is working with that client, they will know about it because everybody is going to receive that email. Now, this is the content of the email. It says contact name, right? The contact full name and the contact phone number and the transcript. And it's going to tell you what's transcribed, what happened in the conversation as I showed you in the email. It's going to tell you, it's going to show you something like this. And so we are going to see that in a second. And so we come back to our workflow. Yeah, our workflow. So that is that. And then if they contain all these keywords, then what we want to do is that we want to flag them with immediate effect. And that is where we use the add tag action again. And the same way, assuming you don't have We don't have this here. All that we need to do is to add the tag, right? We add the tag and then we tag it spam likely. So this is how you do it. Once you select this one, this is what you're going to get. You are going to get, let me X out of this. You are going to get something like this. And all that you need to do is to select that tag, right? So I just named that step so because I want to see it visually here, but usually it will say add tag, but I say add spam likely tag so that when I see this from the top view, the bird's eye view, I know what it is. I don't have to open it to see what is inside there. And I can add more tags if I want, but the one that I don't like is the spam likely. So that is what we need to do. And then we want to add a note to it, right? And then we're going to send ourselves a note and we're going to tag this number. And on this number, we'll have a note that says auto flagged via transcript keyword. So this will tell us more about that particular number. So 6 months down the road, if we want to purge our numbers and we see this and we see that, oh yeah, this one was just spamming and we auto flag that, this is it. Okay. So that is what this is used for. And let me save this. Once you save your workflow, you have to publish it. If you don't publish it, it's not going to work. So once you save it, you publish this, and then also this workflow is being published already. But every time you finish your workflow, if you don't publish it, it's not going to go live. So we've built 4 layers in this demo, and the first layer is the intelligence gathering, where we do that in step one. We enable transcription, and also we want to make sure that we enable the gather intelligence, right? The step two is the DND workflow, which we already talked about. What it's going to do is that once the intelligence suspects the number, is going to um, flag it as spam likely, and that is going to stop it. But if the person or the company or whoever is calling you has a number pool of, let's say, 10, 15, 20 numbers, they are going to switch their numbers all the time. It's programmed in such a way that the same number will not call you twice, right? So the third layer is having that fourth workflow that the fourth layer we just talked about. But the third step is Max, setting up Max greetings, inbound greetings to just say yes. And if you are using the traditional phone number and you are using the IVR setup, you are going to say just press 1 or just press 2, whatever it is. I have that instructions there. And then the layer 4 is where after the call, if that bot escaped because it was in a number pool, we are still going to catch it and flag it after the call. But then after that, they are not going to bug us again. So we will block all the numbers if they try again. And that is it. And here you're just going to do the call setting as I explained earlier. The call settings, that is the only thing you have to do over here. Once you do that, you save it and you are done. Now you have a robust system in place that is going to stop all spam calls and protect your investment. It's easier to save money than to make money, guys. This is so important. If you're a business owner, I know if you are not tracking this, there's no way for you to get this visibility. So if you want us to audit your account and see how things are going for you, you can, the link is in the description. You can always contact me and we can build this for you. And also for anybody who is interested in becoming an AI consultant, we can help you to do that. You can join our 6-week program where we give you a blueprint of how to do your research, come up with your idea, and then launch your business using our blueprint. And within the 90 days, you're going to have all the necessary information you need to set up your own agency. And that is it. So let's wrap up and see what we can do. So yeah, here is what we've built. The layer one was the intelligence. The layer two was the do not call. The layer three was the voice AI screening, and then I added the layer four, right, which is a bonus because I did that just 2 days ago, and I just wanted you to see how first it was just without it, and before and after what I added on top of that. Now, before we go, let's go back to the automation and let me show you what has been happening. So this is the spam call. We want to go into the enrollment history, and we want to see, look at the numbers that I've blocked, right? Look at the numbers that I've blocked right now. I've blocked all these numbers, and these are what, today's date, right? 29, 29, 29, 29, and then this is from yesterday. So when we started this, right, we've received a couple of robocalls, right, and some of them might have tried, but we blocked them, so they didn't even come through. But these are the ones that we've trapped today. We've gotten today. So you can just imagine how this was really hurting me on a daily basis. And let's go to the other workflow and see if we've caught anything in their enrollment history. Let's see what, look at this. Look at this, right? Look at this. Just this morning, look at how many calls, right? How many calls have been caught, uh, writing, giving us all this information that we don't need. So we've captured all this, and it has also sent me an internal notification. This was when I was trying it, so this is me. But let's go to some of the emails that it was sent. The notifications that I've been getting. Look at this. My emails get flooded every day with this kind of bad calls. Look, I have over, just within like 3, 4 days, this is over 150 emails notification telling me that a number has been assigned to me, a caller has been assigned to me, and all these are fake numbers. These are not real numbers, guys. This is crazy. Okay, now let's assume that this was successful. I get a call transcript. If it was a clean call, then it emails me and say that real caller. You remember when we set this up in stage 4, it says real caller, and it gives me the contact phone number. In this case, it's my phone number, and then the transcription, right? Because I didn't talk, it doesn't have much, but this was a test, so it's not going to put the transcript. But this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like, when it reports to me. So now it's going to say that the caller name, that is me, and the call lasted for 35 seconds, and I spoke with Max. And the call summary, the agent introduced themselves and briefly explained their service offering to the user who expressed interest. That was me, right? The agent began asking follow-up questions about the user's MSP's endpoint. I mean, I didn't go into details with it, but this is what it said. Hey, Jay Buampon, this is Max from Baykes Cloud Consultant. MSPs are booking more qualified calls using AI, blah, 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 no ad spend, blah, blah, right? Just checking. Oh, this is the conversation that we had. And you get all that transcript. So, guys, you see how this is so valuable. Um, Without this, I was paying, let's say, between $20 to $30 every week just for spam calls. So that is it. Let's go back to our slides and wrap up things. So, guys, like I said, if you want to test drive Go High Level, you can test drive it for 30 days, and we've provided the link. The link is also going to be in the description. You can check it out and take a test drive and build this yourself and test things out. If you want to be a consultant, this is the tool that you need to really manage your business and the budget, and also to make sure that you have all your tools under one roof. And also, if you want to work with me, if you're a business owner, I know that you are busy doing your business, you don't have time to set up this thing, then contact me. The link is in the description below. Book a 30 minutes free consultation, and I'll be happy to help you or help you with your marketing needs. We don't just build spam protection workflows, we build other stuff. So let me know if you need some help with your business, and I'll be happy to help you. And also about the AI consulting accelerator program. It's a 6 weeks program, and we've also provided the link. And I think that is it for today. As usual, if this was valuable to you and you got some valuable information from this demo, please drop me a 3. And as usual, subscribe to this channel if you are not a member yet, and like this, share this with the business owner who might need this. Yeah, I know that you might know a business owner who is bleeding and they might not even know. So share this video with any business owner you know, and they might be prompted to look into their CRM and see what is happening. They might be paying a lot of money that they don't even know, right? And next week is going to be another banger, same time, 11 a.m. EST, 3 p.m. GMT, and I hope to see you here. I just want to say thank you very much for the support. Thank you for being here. And on that note, thank you very much and see you next week.